again, this is Dom with TBK9.com. In other words, True Blue Canine, located here in Kentucky. This is video 2 of 2 videos for training equipment recommendations for beginning your dog on protection training as a puppy or whatever. So we ended up with the flirt pole, solid pole with some string or rope or whatever. This is about 36 inches, and then you can have like a leather chamois, a jute, French linen, or whatever. Okay, you just have your dog chase it, just like they do with the cats, right? When cats get excited, they jump after it, they bite at it. Same principle that you would do with your pup. You get them driving for it. And that instills their prey drive. So I think it's crucial to get a young dog, a puppy, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever age it is that you get them, the younger the better, to start them on this bite drive or bite development. You'll hear a lot of people say. And in order to develop their bite, you have to get them really excited and wanting to go after the particular item you want on the bite, like a bite sleeve, the tug, a person, whatever. So if they get excited and they really want it, let's say we're using this flirt pole, right? And let me get it situated so I don't hit myself in the face. We get them after it, right? It's just out there and sparking their interest, and they really want to go get it. And then they go, this is a dog's mouth, they go after it, and we pull it away at the last minute and they miss it. It just makes them want to go after it even more, and I think we need to do that to them quite often. Let them go after it, they miss it, bring it back, they miss it, bring it back again, they get it, and then they fight for it a little bit. Now it's important that when they're puppies, that we're not trying to rip this completely out of their mouth, because their teeth are a little brittle and soft, and so if you cause any type of discomfort in the mouth, that it might prevent them from wanting to go back for more. So it's a little tug of war game. You'll hear them, different people say and play tug of war with your dog. So they're pulling on it, you're pulling on it, they pull on it, you pull on it a little bit more, and so on and so forth. And then when they let go, then they lose it and they have to chase it and work after it. One of the most important things that I found over the years is that when they let go of the particular item that you want them to chase and bite, that they have to work hard for it in order to get it back. And then once they get it back, they need to understand that if they let go of it, then they don't get it anymore, or they have to work really hard to get it. Now, I think it's always important to leave your dog wanting more. So, and what I mean by that, let's say your dog is going after this flirt pole and there's a little rag or a tug or whatever, and he gets it, right? And they're fighting and fighting for it, and he loses his grip. It's going out, and he loses it. You bring it back, right? And he's been doing it a while. You always want to leave your dog on a high note. You don't want him exhausted and be like, oh no, I don't want to go after it again. It's like muscle memory. If the dog doesn't enjoy it, and he's just exhausted every time he does it, there's no sense of him doing it. So as you're doing this, right, he let go, he missed a grip, you frustrate him, he can't get it, he keeps going after it, and you pull it away and you take it away, and you keep him wanting more. You always want him more. If they know that they can have it all the time, whenever they want, then do they really want it more? It's just like I like trying to relate dog training with everybody's particular situation. But if you have kids and you give your kids everything, they want brownies, they want a knife, they want a gun, they want a video game, and every time they say something that they want it, then they get it. But the first time that you don't let them have it, then they get frustrated and they start whining or whatever. So sometimes saying no is good. And you could use that to your advantage. I do it all the time with my kids. Oh, you want this video game? Well, I need this done. I need the kennels cleaned. I need you to go work these dogs or whatever. And they'll go do it, and they'll do it with enthusiasm because they know at the end they're going to get something. So use that thought process when training your dog. Okay, so the next essential item I feel everybody should have to to help imprint the bite work for protection dogs is a little bite sleeve. This is actually a puppy bite sleeve. I'm actually using it right now on 10-week-old Belgian Malinois puppies. As you can see, it's not the thinnest of things, but it's pretty soft, so they can mouth on it and bite down pretty good and get a nice full mouth bite. So I'll drag this around and use it in the same fashion as the flirt pole. You drag it around, let them chase it, they get to bite it, and then eventually I'll start slipping my arm into it like this, right? And they're biting on it, and then I sometimes I'll slip it out, but it's still on the flirt pole, and they keep fighting with it. Slip your arm back in it. Bottom line is, you want them biting. You want to teach them to target certain areas of the body, and I do this by using like a puppy bite sleeve or a leg sleeve or what have you. So a puppy bite sleeve, I think, is crucial. You can use it all the way from just developing that drive for them to bite all the way up into a nice bite until you need something that's going to protect you a little bit more. So, you know, it's got the handle, so if you slip it, you can kind of play with them. Now, I talk about slipping the sleeve. That's where a lot of trainers, the dog's biting and they're fighting, they're stuff like that. And then once they're fighting and biting really well, they give them a reward. And the reward is to slip their arm out of the sleeve, and they take off with this sleeve, and they're running around and having a good old time with it. I don't train that way. I don't reward the dog with a bite sleeve or a tug or anything else. I just reward them with praise. So a lot of people have had issues over time with their supposed protection dog, which is more like a Schutzhund dog, which isn't a protection dog. But you could go on YouTube and look up like the greatest police dog or the worst police dog, and you'll see these dogs chasing bad guys, looking for a sleeve, looking for something to bite on. And obviously guys in the real world don't have these things. They have their arm, they have sweatshirts, they have jackets, but the dogs aren't seeing sleeves like this, and they're not biting, and so they're looking for that reward. Well, there's no reward to be given. So here at True Blue Canine, we don't train by giving the sleeves. We don't give them a reward, because bottom line is, if you're a bad guy coming after me and my dog's going to protect me, you're not going to have equipment on, and on top of that, you're not just going to take your arm off and say, here guy, go get it. You know, Cujo is not, it doesn't work like that. It's not reality. So we try and train for the real world. So as a dog grows from this, and they're getting a real good bite, and they're encouraged and they're motivated to bite, then we'll swap to something like this. This is like a French linen. This is a hidden sleeve, and we put it underneath sweatshirts and jackets, so that way we could kind of disguise that we don't have any equipment on. But bottom line, I think all dogs become equipment oriented. Sometimes you'll see them come out as soon as a decoy comes out in a bite sleeve or a bite suit. The dog starts getting amped up and all excited, because that's what they've been trained to do ever since they were young. I have a different feeling on that, but nonetheless, I think a puppy bite sleeve, a hidden bite sleeve, there's no protection in this other than the French linen and a little bit of padding. There's no plastic in there to stop anything, so you really feel the bite of the dog. And as a decoy, that's important, so that way you know, hey, is the dog doing right, is he doing wrong, and what can you as a decoy do to change it up. So there you have that. The other things I would recommend, a little tug like this one's kind of tore up. My older Malinois, I got a hold of it, and after just a bite or two, he tore it. But this is great for a puppy. What it does is, they do something great, and you give them a little reward. Oh, that's a good boy! Give them the thing, play tug of war with it. I never let them have it, but you know, we'll play tug of war with them. Again, implementing like with that flirt stick or flirt pole. They bite on it. A lot of times this will will motivate them to bite deep in the back of the mouth, all the way down in there, instead of with just their canines. Because if it's with their canines, as you can see here, it's real shallow, but if they bite in all the way, it's a good solid bite, and it applies a lot more pressure. They've actually done a study, excuse me, I dropped my stuff. They actually did a study with trained Malinois that by just using the front part of their mouth with the canines, it delivers like close to 150 pounds per square inch of bite force. But when they bite with a full mouth all the way to the back, which is closer to the hinge, if you will, it's stronger, and it delivers just shy of 600 pounds per square inch. So, yeah, so I like a dog that bites with the full mouth. So, the other thing I would recommend is get some things that make some noise. This is a bamboo stick that's split in four. As you can see, it's just a bamboo stick, and it's in 4 different pieces. Right? So anytime you can make noise around your puppy, make noise, make lots of noise. Right? So this acts like you're going to hit them, and then as you're doing that, it makes noise. Right? You don't actually hit the dog, but it just kind of prepares them to get hit, and if they do, they don't think of it as a bad thing. The other thing is this little whip. Okay, you can get them from all kinds of places, and all it does is make some noise. You know, it's just a little whip, right? Hey, 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 get out of here! So you make those noises, it drives the dog crazy. So I would recommend that too. The other thing, if you don't have a 2-inch agitation collar that we spoke of on the first video, I recommend a harness. This is a harness. I like using the harness because it doesn't restrict the dog's breathing or their neck. So I like using a harness, and this is a tracking agitation harness because it has a little bit of padding here, and I use it for both tracking and agitating. And plus, you can always lift the dog up if you need to lift the dog. So we covered the things that I think are instrumental when you have a young dog that you're starting to develop for protection work. A lot of these things your decoy is going to have. If he doesn't have it, you can get it, and you can kind of play around with your dog, just get them comfortable with biting. That's the important thing. Your dog has to know it's okay to bite. So many times people will get a puppy and they start biting, and they stick their thumb in their mouth and they make it uncomfortable, and they tell them no. So right there, we're imprinting in the dog that biting is bad. And then they wonder, they've done that for the last 6 months of their life, and then they take them to a trainer, and the trainer's like, man, this dog's not biting, he doesn't want to bite, he avoids it every time he gets a chance. And then the owners wonder why. Well, the reason why is, well, they told him that biting was bad and caused discomfort every time he bit for his whole life, and now all of a sudden they want the dog to think it's okay to bite. So anyway, so you want to get them stuff that it's okay for them to bite on. So if they're biting on shoes and you don't want them biting on shoes, then you can redirect, not correct, but redirect them to bite on the tug, to bite on this, and you play tug of war with them. Or you use your flirt pole, right? Instead of them biting on your kid's hand or on your shoes or on that expensive purse or whatever, you redirect them. You don't correct them, you just change their thought process. Oh, I don't want to chew on this smelly shoe, I want to go chew on this, and it's more fun. So agitation collar, 7-foot leash, 6 to 8 inch short leash, puppy bite pillow, flirt stick, agitation whip, clatter stick, harness, and that should be good. It gets you on your way. So again, thanks for watching. Visit us at www.tvk9.com or www.realprotectiondog.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.